please be aware that during my talk, we are going to discuss trading in the Forex market. All right, I've got to let you know ahead of time that I'm not a CTA, which stands for Commodities Trading Advisor. So I can't trade your account for you. That's going to be your part. All right, you're always going to be in control of the exercise, and you'll always look to what? Trade for profit, but remember to protect the downside. You should never trade with money you can't afford to lose. Of course, you always trade with equity management in mind. But what you need to know is if you do what I'm going to show you correctly, all right, the Forex opportunity is tremendous. Even Kevin Harrington from the Shark Tank has seen it. All right, he's been in our offices, as a matter of fact. He's seen the results that we get for our students, and we've actually partnered with him, all right, because he's seen firsthand how we use this formula that I'm going to show you today pretty much to change people's lives. And for whatever reason you came here today, all right, I want to make sure you get the most from it, because for some of you, flat out, okay, this is going to change your life as well. All right, I'm Joe Cavallaro. I'm going to be your host today. I want to make sure that we're connected. We're going to go about 75 minutes. All right, so if you don't mind locating the chat box on your screen and opening it up. All right, this is going to allow us to communicate with each other throughout the presentation. And if you follow along, all right, with that good feedback, you're going to get the most out of this. All right, if you want to take a second to find the chat or the question box, all right, that's going to be in your web tools. Just do this for me. All right, type the name of the city that you're listening from right now. And what's going to happen is that's going to appear right on my screen. And then I'll know that you personally are ready to get started. You got a piece of paper, you got a pen, you're going to need those for sure, because we've got a lot to talk about. All right, and not a lot of time to do it. So good. Robert and Tanya and Jorge and Kevin, you've logged in. That's perfect. And you can hear me. Jason and William and Robert, trader number 4. There's Eric. There's Don. There's Dustin. There's Felicia. There's Brian. There's Will. There's Don. There's Terry. All right, Miami, Florida's here. Dallas, Texas is here. Who else? Germantown, Maryland, and Durham, North Carolina. Okay, we got a big group. There's a couple of you still logging in, and that's fine. Just take one more second and we're going to dive right into this, because today, all right, I'm going to show you how MTI students use the target trading system to capture consistent wins in the Forex. And that's a word that I want you to write down immediately, because consistency, gang, is the key to any trader's success. All right, you write that down in capital letters, finding something that works, and then you keep on doing it repeatedly. Well, the target trading system can take you from brand new, all right, to that consistency very quickly. And on this webinar, all right, I get the pleasure of showing it to you. All right, I'm coming to you from the Market Traders Institute. I'm here in Orlando, Florida. A couple more of you have just checked in. Okay, thank you, Gretel. Thank you, Matthew. Perfect. All right, we've been in the business of doing this one thing. All right, teaching people, training people in the Forex market for the last 23 years. And what we teach is a formula that works, okay? But we also provide software and mentorship, okay? Real tools and real support, live support, so that our students can keep applying the formula successfully over and over again. And no matter what the markets are doing, all right? No matter what might be going on in the world right now, and there's plenty, all right? You've been seeing it, okay? But no matter what's going on in the world, all right, we've been through it with our students for the last 23 years. Up markets, down markets, all right, we've seen it all, okay? And the method that we teach has such a rock solid foundation that our students, and at this point there's 32,000 of them, all right, around the world, people like you that we work with on a daily basis, all right? Our students have learned a skill and a method that no matter what happens in their life, they can always look to the Forex to generate, well, at least a secondary income, all right, if not a primary income. So if you came to do that, okay, to generate a second income, maybe add 3, 4, 5,000 a month to what you're doing right now, even if you're brand new, okay, the Forex is going to offer you that opportunity. And I'm going to show it to you, all right? You'll see and hear exactly how we teach and translate this Forex thing into our actual client success. And it's a formula that's gotten us a whole lot of attention, okay, from the people that I'm going to say matter the most, from our students, right, who give us feedback on this stuff every single day. We've got live Facebook pages where our students, they go and post their results. And it's always fun to see the results, right? 1,600 pips, 1,400 pips, right? 500 pips. And once you learn how to do what I'm going to show you, you'll be giving us this kind of feedback too. But our students don't just give us the numbers, okay? They always use words like analysis and mentorship and guidance, because that is a huge part of what we provide here at MTI. And that's a word I want you to write down right away: mentorship. Okay, because our students aren't out there just trading alone. Okay, they have a strong daily connection to our traders and mentors. All right, so that their success is something that's ongoing. They've learned how to do this well and consistently, but we've really had an uptick, okay, in the positive feedback that we get since we introduced target trading. Target trading is really taking this thing to the next level, because MTI has come up with a way to do this that anybody can do. All right, men and women, younger people, older people, anyone from accountants to teachers to stay-at-home moms. When it comes to target trading, people love it. All right, they're getting results and it's changing their lives. All right, you're excited to see it. You came here to see ideas and things that work. Well, I'm excited to show this to you. All right, and your timing on this couldn't be a whole lot better. All right, the markets aren't just moving, but they are offering what we as Forex traders are seeing as the best, especially new traders, the best trading environment, all right, in the last 8 years. And our lead analyst, okay, Josh Martinez, some of you have heard of him, all right? Some of you might already be connected to him on one of our Facebook pages. If you're not, write down his Facebook handle. That's a great asset, okay? Josh is one of the mentors that you all will have a connection to, so that you can translate what you learned from me today into real money and real success. There's going to be a plan here, all right? In fact, Josh is hosting a worldwide live session on Monday, all right, at 4 o'clock Eastern time. Write that down, all right? What's going to happen is we're going to have another webinar like this with all of our worldwide students, and Josh is going to be the host. So that with all that's going on in the world right now, with the dollar, with the euro, and especially with the pound, all right, he's going to get on a webinar. All of our students worldwide will be logging in, and he's literally going to hand them his analysis. All right, every one of our students is going to get that, and it's going to put them in a position, instead of just watching stuff go by like most people will do, okay, they're going to be in a position, it says it on the screen, to make between 7,000 and 13,000 pips off of this. Now, what does that mean? All right, for the new people, that means very simple. If you're a trader, okay, and you're trading his recommendations, and you're trading for $1 a pip, okay, that means being able to make between $7,000 and $13,000. That's how we support our students here at MTI. All right, we quantify it, we show it, then we go do it. And the ones that know Josh already, all right, they're making sure to be in that session on Monday, and it's going to be awesome. Okay, so Monday at 4 o'clock, write down the time that's going to be happening, and anybody that's here at Investor Inspiration that wants to be in that session, you get a direct view of what it means to be a Forex trader with our group. Anybody that wants to be in that session or reserve a seat in that session with all of our other students, at the end, what I'm going to do is give you all an opportunity to do that. Okay, so we're ready to get started. It's right at the top of the hour. Let's do a couple quick introductions and we'll get the ball rolling. My name's Joe Cavallaro. I'm going to be your host today. All right, I've been trading markets since 1995. All right, and I've been trading Forex with Josh and Market Traders Institute since 2014. And listen, when it came to MTI, I did pretty much the same thing that you're doing today. All right, you heard there was an opportunity in this market and you came to check it out. Well, I did the same thing in 2014. I looked into MTI and the Forex market, all right? And I asked Josh directly and the people here to show it to me, okay, to mentor me on the ins and outs of how this worked. And long story short, okay, what they showed me was that this was easier, way easier than anything I'd been doing before. I'd been a stock trader and I knew that area pretty well. I had very little knowledge of the Forex market, and if that describes you, then we're singing off the same sheet of music. But I found out here, okay, that it was easy enough to get started quickly, right, that it didn't require a whole lot of capital to get started, and the method that he showed me for doing this, it flat out worked, okay, to the point where it wasn't just good returns, okay, but it was consistent returns with low risk. And that's what everybody's looking for. All right. I've been through the training here and I can translate that to you right now. All right. And by the time we're done in about 75 minutes, all right, you're going to know flat out more about making money in the Forex market than 99% of the people on this planet. Because I'm going to show you that formula and you're going to have that to use. That's going to be a strong takeaway that you have from our time together. So make sure you got a piece of paper and a pen. All right. And we're going to jump into the market so you can see stuff happening. All right. Right up to the minute. All right. I'll show you exactly how to enter a trade, how to exit a trade. I'll get you set up for trading next week. I'll show you how to use target trading, so that even if you're brand new to the Forex market, you can use it, okay? Starting this week to capture some immediate profit potential. And as we go through this, if you say to yourself, you know what, that works, right? That's strong. I want to get that on my desk. Well, at the end, I'll invite you to come and work with our group, all right, for the next 60 days at our expense, so you can try it out and test it out and make sure that it works. Fair enough? So you know a little bit about me. All right, you know a little bit about MTI. Let's get you up to speed right now on the Forex market. We'll dive right into it, because the Forex market, okay, out of all the other markets, it's going to give you 4 huge advantages: liquidity, flexibility, size, and simplicity. Write those down. Let's take these just quickly one at a time. Liquidity, all right, why is that an advantage? Well, that word, okay, sounds like a fancy word, all right, but all it means is that you can move in and out of a market easily. All right, this is the most liquid market on the planet, because there's always a buyer and there's always a seller. All right, and you can get in and out of the Forex market in 1 second or less just by pushing a button on your computer. Anytime you want to take your investment off the table, okay, you can do that in 1 second or less. Why? Because this market is so liquid. Why is that important? Because with that liquidity, right, that lowers your risk. All right, and low risk is a major consideration for anybody that's investing. All right, this is the most liquid market that there is. Now let's talk about flexibility just quickly. All the markets offer opportunity. That just makes sense. Okay, you can make money in all of them. All right, if somebody came to you and said you can make money in stocks, you can make money in options, of course you can. All right, but all the other markets have specific hours. All right, they open in the morning, they close in the afternoon. And because they do, sometimes it's hard for people like you to be able to adjust to those hours. You live in a different time zone. All right, we all have a busy schedule. All right, and even if you want to trade those other markets, all right, sometimes it's just hard because the times aren't convenient. Some of you know what I mean by that, right? You got to set an alarm for 2 in the morning because you live in a different time zone. Okay, but with the Forex, it's flexible because it's open, right, 6 days a week, 24 hours a day. Write this down. It's open from Sunday at 5, and it's open round the clock until Friday at 5 Eastern time, which means what? It means you can trade it whenever you want, okay? And that flexibility is a huge benefit, okay? That's one of the main reasons individuals are coming to this market, because they don't have to be tied to some other schedule or turn their life upside down. My favorite one of these, though, is the size. All right, this is the biggest market on the planet. All right, whether you know it or not, this market trades $5 trillion every day. It's bigger than all the other markets of the world put together. Okay, it's what I call the big pile of money. Okay, everybody says to me, hey Joe, where's that big pile of money? Right, let's go find that thing together. Right, everybody wants to find the pile. Well, you found it. All right, this is the big pile of money. This is the currency market. All right, this is all the money in the world. Right, you found the big pile of money. Right, and now you're sort of standing right next to it. And what you want to do as a trader, all right, you want to be a trader and reach into the big pile, all right, and pull out a handful consistently, okay? And it's not hard to do, all right? A lot of people think, well, if this is anything like the stock market, I got to learn how to follow all kinds of different market sectors and 300 or 400 different companies. Well, in the Forex market, gang, you don't have to do all that, all right? All you have to know to get started really is the names of the major currencies. And if you know them, great. If you don't know them, let me put them up here on the screen. Go ahead and jot these down, because this is what you're going to be trading, the major currencies. Okay, of course, the US dollar and the Canadian, the euro and the pound, the yen, the franc, the Aussie, and the Kiwi. All right, this is what you're going to trade in the currency market. That's the list. All right, now anytime you see a currency, you're going to see it trading against another currency. Okay, because currencies trade one against the other in what's called a pair. And anytime you see a currency pair, it's going to be followed by a number. All right, that number is called the exchange rate. That's a familiar term to everybody because most of you have been traveling, most of you have been to the bank, you've been to the airport, you've seen an exchange rate, one of those exchange booths, right? And as soon as you see this information, you already know what it means. It means you can do what? You can trade one currency for the other at the going rate. Okay, well, all we're doing as traders, and it couldn't be any simpler, is we trade movements in the exchange rate. Okay, exchange rates are constantly moving up and down. Well, that's what we trade. We trade exchange rates for profit, and whether they go up or they go down. All right, we can make money on this in either direction. Let's keep going. All right, most people, right, when they look at an exchange rate, they talk about it just in terms of dollars and cents. But traders in the Forex, we look a little further to the right, to these last two decimal places. All right, those are called the pips, and you got to write that down. All right, PIP stands for price interest point. It's tiny little movements in the exchange rate, way over here. All right, at the third and fourth decimal place, that's what we as traders are looking to capture. All right, so maybe you write in your notes, we're looking to capture pips, as many of them as possible. Let me just show you how it works. This will make sense to you. If you've ever done even one trade at all right, this will make sense to you quickly. Okay, let's just say we've got a currency pair, the euro and the US dollar. All right, let's say the current exchange rate on it is 111.05. Now, during the course of the day, we might have a strong euro, okay, or we might have a weak dollar. Well, if that's the case, what's going to happen? Well, that's going to move my little seesaw. That's going to move my exchange rate higher. Now, if it should go like it is on the screen, from 111.05 up to 111.95, that's a difference of 90 pips. Do you see that? There they are at the third and fourth decimal place. That's where the pips are. Okay, so now what? Now you know where to find them. So how do you capture them? Well, you got to do what traders do. All right, you'll have a Forex trading account and you'll do what traders do. All right, you'll buy low and you'll sell high. All right, now somebody just asked me in the chat box, where do I get a trading account? Okay, let me cover that because that's a good question. All right, we're not a broker, so you're not going to have an account with us. All right, we're traders, we're educators, we're software developers, all right, and analysts. We're going to trade with you, but we're not going to hold any of your money. All right, that said, if you want to trade Forex, you got to open up a Forex account with a broker. All right, now we can help you with that. In fact, at the end, right, I can point you in the right direction, but there's nothing to it. All right, it'll take you about 5 minutes to open an account. If you got any questions on that at the end, we can point you in the right direction. Like I said, that's part of what we do here. We'll even show you, listen, how to open up a demo account so that you can get your feet wet with this, get comfortable with everything I'm showing you without risking any of your money. All right, but you're going to open that account so you can do what? Well, you're going to buy low and sell high. Okay, and I'm not trying to insult anybody's intelligence because you're going to follow a formula. You're going to protect your downside. But the goal is to capture these pips, gang, because this is a repeatable exercise. Okay, this is a repeatable exercise, and how many pips you end up collecting, all right, is going to come down to two things. You ready for this? It's going to come down to how well your stuff works, and it's going to come down to how confident you are in it. Now let's talk like traders for a minute. Okay, because I'll tell you what, I'm going to help you today. And the fact of the matter is, the more confident you are, the more money you're going to make. Your confidence is always going to determine two things: how much money you put into a trade, all right, and how much profit you take out. Now, another question just came in. How much money do I need? All right, let's cover that. All right, let's cover that right now because you got a few options. All right, when you trade currencies, okay, you can trade with what's called a micro lot, a mini lot, or a standard lot. You got to write those down. All right, micro, mini, and standard. This part's going to be up to you. All right, see if you can figure out where you fit here. All right, with a micro lot, what is that going to require of you in terms of your capital? Well, when you trade micro lots, that's a $20 trade, a $20 investment. All right, now you might say $20. What can I do with that? Well, in any other market, not a whole lot, right? If you got $20 in the stock market, what can you do? You can buy one share of something, 2 shares of something. But in the currency market, this is one of the most beautiful things about it. All right. You don't need a lot of money. All right. In fact, a $20 trade gets your foot in the door. Okay. A $20 trade gets you started. In fact, you know, some people want to poo-poo that as being too small. What can I really do with that? Well, actually, gang, that's the right thing to do. Okay. You start small so that what? With a small amount of your money, right, you can determine a lot of things. Okay. You can determine if you know what you're doing. You can determine if your formula works. You can determine, right, if your technique is good before you go risking larger amounts. But here's what's going to happen. Okay. It's just going to be very natural. Once you see your formula works doing that exercise, you're going to be able to step it out a little bit. And that's where things will start to get a little more substantial. Okay. You'll end up trading micro lots of currency. Write that one down. Now, what do you need for micro lots? Well, mini lot. Micro lot is first. In a mini lot, that's step 2. That's a $200 trade. Okay. A 200, still not a lot of money. All right. But it's another step forward. And then what's going to happen very naturally is you'll step up to where you want to be, right? And I want you to circle this last one on your paper. You're going to step up to trading standard lots of currency. For that, you need $2,000. All right. And understand that's your goal. All right. That's where you want to get to, is trading standard lots of currency. So I don't know where you fit on this little graph here. Okay. You're probably trying to figure that out as we go. But no matter how you do this, all right, you don't need a lot of money. In fact, I'm here to tell you that if you have $2,000 in trading capital in the Forex market, that is all you will ever need. Okay. Now, you know the investment. Okay. What's it mean in terms of real dollars? What's it mean in terms of money in your pocket? Well, that part's simple. All right. When you trade micro lots, each of those pips that you collect is going to be worth 10 cents. Write that down. 10 cents. So what? You remember that trade we did a minute ago where we made 90 pips? Well, 90 pips times 10 cents would be $9, all right, on a $20 investment. So what is that? That's 45%, okay? That's a nice percentage. No, it's not a lot of money, okay? $9, what can you do with that? You can buy a sandwich or something, right? However, all right, if that $9, right, if that 45% is repeatable, in other words, if that's something you can do over and over again, well, you and I both know that you're not going to be trading small for very long. Okay, at which point, again, naturally, you'll be able to step it up to mini lots, and that's where things start to be a little more meaningful, because now the pips are worth $1. Okay, the trade stays the same. You're always going to trade for pips. So on the trade we did on the euro, everything would be identical, right? 90 pips worth of profit. But at $1 a piece, now you're making $90. You see that? You do that a couple of times a week. By the end of the month, you're at least making a car payment. Do you understand? It means something at that point. But the reason I told you, okay, to circle this last one on your paper is because when you trade standard lots of currency, that's where you want to get to, because that's when the pips are worth $10 a piece. All right. And you already did the math, I'm sure of it, right? 90 pips, $10, that's $900. That's right. Right, on a $2,000 investment. And there's only so many places you can even talk like that, okay? But this is one of them, all right? Now, I know what you're thinking. $900 looks pretty good. You're right, okay? You do that once a week, and what happens, right? You can pretty much pay all your bills, okay? The fact of the matter is you need to know two things, though. Number one, okay, how often does it really happen? Well, I'll show you that that happens in every single currency every day. Okay, the opportunity is certainly there. So then what's your other question? Well, what's the downside? Anybody can tell me about $900, right? You get that all the time. You come to the webinar, right? $900, right? Great. What does it mean in terms of the downside? Well, I'm going to show you that too. All right, because this has to make sense to you if you're going to do it. This has to make sense to you, right? The formula has to work to protect your downside too. So we're going to go through this whole thing from A to Z, right? We're not going to throw your money against the wall and hope that it sticks. We're going to do something that makes sense, all right? And we're going to do it, right, in the next less than an hour. I'll turn you into a Forex trader. But before we do that, all right, I do have to ask you a question. Now that you understand the fundamentals of this, I need to know something from you. All right, what I need to know from you, and I want you to type it in the chat box, is how much do you need to get from this, all right, on a monthly basis? How much do you need? And I want you to type your answer in that chat box, all right? What do you need to make from this consistently, month after month, to make this worth your time? Because you didn't come here without thinking about that, all right? Nobody logs in without a couple of personal goals in mind, all right? But everybody's different. Okay, some of you might say, yeah, Joe, I want to make an extra 500 a month or 1,000 a month, right? You said earlier, what, I could make 3,000 or 4,000 a month. I'm retired. I need some income. That sounds good to me, right? My kids are in high school, right? I need some money for college. I want to replace my income, right? This job that I'm doing now, I'd rather trade full time. So that's what, 7, maybe 10,000 a month, right? What is your goal? What is that number? All right, month after month consistently. Type that in the chat box. All right, I'm going to get a quick sip of water, but then I'm going to read a couple of these. All right, go ahead and do that. If you hadn't thought about that, now's the time. Because what you're doing is you're going to help me. All right, you've got a target. You didn't come here to waste time. Show me how to hit my target. Well, that's what I'm going to do. All right, there's 1,000. There's 500. There's $2,000 month after month after month. Show me how to do that. There's 5,000. There's 8,000, right? Month after month. That's 100,000 a year. When you think about it, 8,000 a month, that's a good number, right? If you're going to trade, you want to make a living at it. That's a good number. All right. Another one, 5,000. There's 20,000. Good. I like your style. All right. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Okay. Most of our students, whether they are brand new or they have a little experience, all right, they're looking to make between $2,000 and $8,000 a month consistently. And I will tell you, in the Forex, all right, around here, that's not just possible, all right, that's common. Okay, we got students that make $10,000, $20,000 a month consistently. So between 2,000 and 8,000, that is a reasonable goal, especially if you're new. But here's the question, okay? Now that you've typed in that number, I gotta ask you to answer another question. How committed are you to that? What do you mean? Well, most people are going to tell me I'm totally committed. Everybody's committed, gang, to making money. All right. There's no doubt about that. All right. But what does that mean, really? Right. Well, if I can show you a couple things that work, right, where you can make between $2,000 and $8,000 a month, right, in the chat box, let's see how committed you are. All right. Would you spend 20 to 30 minutes a day on this if I could show you something that worked so you could make 2, 3, 4, 8,000 a month? What do you think? Are you committed to that? Because I got to tell everybody, all right, I like doing webinars and I like people going to look for ideas, but you and I both know the bag of money doesn't fall from the sky. You have to do something. It's an active exercise, okay? And I'm not going to waste your time. I'm going to do my part, okay? I'm going to show you something that works. If I can do that, can I get you to commit just 20 minutes a day to this, to mastering this market so that you can make that kind of money? Would you do that? Right, type your answer in the box. Look at all my yes answers. Yes, I'll give you an hour, somebody said. Yes, yes, yes. Somebody said no. That's okay, right? Forex isn't for everybody, and it's okay, okay? The Forex is definitely not going to be for all of you, all right? But you're here to make a decision on it, so now what? Now I got to do my part. I got to show you something that works, right, so that you can make a decision on this. Most of you have said I'm committed. I know you are because you showed up here today, all right? That's more than half the battle. So why don't we go take this right up to the minute in the market, right? I'll show you something that works, and then if it makes sense to you, you get it on your desk and you can try it out, all right? Here's what I'm going to show you. This is our proprietary piece, okay? This is called Ultimate Charting Software, right? Every single trader that works with our group, all of our students have this already right on their desk. Okay, this is kind of the star of the show. All the traders here, this is what we work off of. Okay, some of you that are here now, I know you already have this. Okay, and there's some of you, all right, that are here that don't have it. Don't worry about it. At the end, you'll get it on your desk so you can try everything that I'm showing you today before you have to decide if you want to keep it or not. So do me a favor. Okay, watch as I go through this because I'm going to show you what all the buttons do. That way, when you get it, you can hit the ground running. Okay. Now, what makes our program so valuable? I've seen a lot of software before, I know you have, okay? But what makes our program so valuable is this. No matter what currency you are looking at, okay? No matter what time frame you're looking at. I'm looking at a bunch of different currencies here and different time frames, all right? But no matter which one of these you're looking at, okay, this program is so valuable because it does 3 things. You ready for this? It answers the 3 questions every trader has to answer before they do any trade. Number 1, they got to know which way the market is going. Which way is the market going? You got to answer that question, okay, before you trade. Are we going up or are we going down? You got to know that, okay? Then what? Well, then you got to know where and why you're going to get in the market. Then you got to know what? Where and why you're going to get out of the market. Okay, and if you answer those 3 things ahead of time, you're cooking with oil. Now, what makes our program so special? Well, it's actually, right, what makes it work so well is the way the Forex market works. Now, listen, because the Forex market is different, okay, than any other market. Why? Because the Forex market repeats itself. Write that down. Okay, the Forex market is different because it repeats itself. It does the same thing, okay, over and over and over again. Okay, this market develops patterns. Now we're going to read the patterns on the chart using these blue and white candlesticks. All right, now most of you have looked at charts before. Okay, so I'm not going to go through a big dissertation about candlesticks. I'm going to keep this simple because it is. All right, just keeping it very simple. Any chart where you see white candlesticks, the market's going up. Any chart where you see blue candlesticks, the market's going down. All right, and if you can see that, all right, do me a favor, just type the letter Y in the chat box, right, where you can see that the market doesn't go straight up or straight down. What it really does, right, is it moves in waves. Sometimes it's going down, sometimes it's going up. If you can see that, just type a Y or a yes in the chat box. All right, then we're going to look at a couple of these patterns together. Okay. Yes. All right. So good. We're following along. Thank you for doing that. Look, you veterans that are out there, you've done this before. Thank you for letting me go through some of the basics, because I know that there's new people here. All right. You were new once and somebody took a little time with you. Let me just take a couple minutes to get them up to speed. Then we'll go ahead and put the gas pedal down. Okay. This market, good. Thank you. Yes. Yes. So you can see it. All right. This market develops patterns. All right. Now, I'm going to look at a couple patterns, but I'm going to give them a name. I'm going to call them A, B, C, D, because the Forex market moves in A, B, C, D patterns over and over and over again. Watch this, okay? We're going to start down here, right, at the very left of the screen. That's the beginning of my pattern. That low price, I'm going to call it letter A, okay? What happens? The market rallies nice and strong to a high price. I'm going to call that letter B. Then what happens? The market pulls back down to a low price. Right? I'm going to call that letter C before what? Before it finishes the pattern all the way up here at letter D. Okay. Then what happens? We start another pattern. Okay. The same thing, right? It just repeats itself. Now, in this case, take a look. When this pattern ends, A, B, C, D, a new one starts right there. All right. At the high price, we'll call it letter A. Then the market fades down to a low price. That's letter B. Okay, then the market rallies nice and strong to a high price, letter C, before what? Before it fades again, right? Just about falls apart here, all the way down here to letter D. And then what? We do it all over again. All right, the market, Forex market, repeats itself in A, B, C, D patterns. Now, right away, you're seeing, okay, this doesn't look random, and you're right. But here's the best part. These patterns that are on the screen, okay, they're not random at all. They're measurable. Okay, not only are they measurable, okay, but they're also predictable. Now, what do I mean by that? This is where you really need to pay attention, because that's a word that I like. Predictable? What's he talking about? He can tell us where the market's going next? Hold on a minute, because there's a tool built in here that can do that. Okay, what it's called, and you got to really pay attention, because I'm going to show this to you. It's built into the program. It's called the Fibonacci tool. Fibonacci tool. Okay, some of you have heard of this before. For the rest of you, it's based on something called the Fibonacci sequence. Okay, for those of you that aren't familiar with this, let me just introduce you quickly to what the Fibonacci thing is all about. All right, you've heard that this is effective, and you're right. Okay, but what is it? Well, it's actually, who is it? All right, Fibonacci, there he is, Italian mathematician. Okay, very famous. Why? Because he came up with a sequence of numbers called the Fibonacci sequence. Can you imagine? Right? The Fibonacci sequence, right? That can be used to measure everything, all right, in nature. Because what Fibonacci figured out, okay, was that everything in nature, everything, write this in your notes, follows a natural and keyword predictable pattern. Okay, and by putting his sequence of numbers on it, the Fibonacci sequence, they actually call this nature's numbering system, right? If you're not familiar with this, Google it when we're done. Look it up. It's fascinating, okay? Because it can be used to measure everything. Let me show you what I mean, all right? Just very quickly. You see this fish right here, this fish? Let me zoom in on the fish. You see how the fish is made up of scales? Okay, a lot of scales on that fish. Well, if I asked you right now, how many scales make up that fish? Maybe the only thing you could do to figure that out is count them one at a time to give me an answer. But do you realize this is not a random number? Look at those scales are in rows. Those scales are in ordered columns. All right, this is not random. This is a natural and predictable pattern. And if you put the Fibonacci sequence right on that fish, it'll tell you exactly how many scales are on the fish. No kidding? No kidding. All right, it works, listen, on everything. All right, look at this flower. I'll zoom in on the flower, right? It's made up of petals, lots of them. All right, but guess what? That's not a random number either. All right, the flower has a natural and predictable number of petals on it. And if you put the Fibonacci sequence on that flower, it'll tell you exactly how many petals are there. Okay, and when I say it works on everything, I mean it. It even works on architecture. Look, that's not just a flight of stairs, that's a Fibonacci sequence. Do you see that? Even you personally are a Fibonacci sequence. You remember seeing this diagram before. That's the Fibonacci diagram of the human body. Okay, we use it to measure our symmetry, the length of our arms versus the length of our legs. The shape of your ear is a Fibonacci sequence. This works on everything because everything follows a natural pattern. Now, you might say, well, that's pretty fascinating, Joe. I learned something new, but what does it have to do with the Forex? It has everything to do with the Forex because, gang, these patterns aren't random. They're natural and predictable, and we can use this Fibonacci sequence to measure them, not just where they've been, but where they're going. All right, I'm going to show you how to do it. It couldn't be any easier. All right, when you see this, all right, you have to realize there's going to be something for you to do when you get a chart on your screen. In fact, your job, very simple, is going to be to look at a chart and be able to find the low prices and the high prices. You're going to have to be able to do that. I'll show you how. All right, you're going to look for low prices and high prices and what we call U-turns. Write that in your notes. Okay, U-turns, where the candlesticks make the shape of the letter U. Okay, at the bottom of that, that's a low price. See this? That's the shape of the letter U, the shape of the letter U. At the bottom of that, that's a low price. Okay, upside down letter U's, see how the candlesticks, right, make the shape of an upside down U, right? Upside down U, the top of that is a high price. So if you think you can do that, all right, if you can see those patterns, all right, if you can identify the U-turns, do me a favor. In the chat box, just type ABCD. Okay, just type ABCD. Do you think you could find those patterns, right? Low price A, high price B, low price C. Do you think you could find those on the chart? If you do, I want you to type ABCD in the chat box. If you're not sure, it's okay. All right, because I'll do a couple of these to make sure that you get this. This is going to be probably the most important thing that you ever learn, ever, when it comes to trading, ever. Okay. And all right, here, that's most of you, A, B, C, D. Good. Charles and Erica, thank you. Thomas, thank you. Good. All right, a lot of you said yes, but that's not everybody. So I got to take you through this. All you're going to have to do, gang, all you're going to have to do is be able to find low prices and high prices. Let me take you through it over here. All right, because we got a complete pattern over here. And what we do to measure the pattern is very simple. We come over here to this square, okay, this menu at the very top of the software. Okay, when we click on that menu says Fibonacci tools. Okay, click on it. The first thing you see, this is going to be your job, is the MTI Fibonacci tool. That's ours. This is a proprietary tool. Nobody else has this except for our students. All right, you'll get this on your desk today. When you click on it, look what happens. Your cursor turns into a pen. All you have to do to measure this pattern is take your pen and draw a line from A to B. Now let me clean this up just a little bit. Okay, let me clean this up a little bit so you can really hone in on this. All right, I've drawn a line from A to B, and what appeared on my screen is the Fibonacci sequence. All right, that's what all these numbers are. It looks like a step ladder and it's color coded. What is it doing? It is measuring the first part of the pattern. All right, all I did was draw a line from A to B. Okay, now that's the first part of the pattern. What happens? Well, when the market gets to B, right, it stops going up and the market pulls back. It pulls back all the way down here, right, to a low price. All right, that low price is going to be letter C. Now, this is going to be important because what you're going to have to spot is where letter C is. Okay, and I want you to notice how letter C, right, lines up in this, right, red area of Fibonacci numbers. Do you see that? These are red Fibonacci numbers. Do you see how that low price lines up in this red area? That is going to be significant. Why? I'll explain. Okay, because some people call these Fibonacci numbers energy levels. Okay, I call them a little different. I call them trampolines because of the way they act on the price of the currency. What do I mean? Well, look what happened here. The market came down, right, to this level, And then what happened? It bumped into the Fibonacci number. The market pulled back down to this level, bumped into this Fibonacci number, this energy level, this trampoline. Okay, well, what happens when you jump on a trampoline? You go bouncing off in the other direction, right? Look what happened here. When the market came down to this energy level, it ended up bouncing off in the other direction. You can see that right here. Do you see how the market has bounced, right, from letter C? Whoops, excuse me. It bounced, right, in the upward direction. Guess what that means? Gang, that's a market that's going up. All right, so now what? Now you know which way you're going. Okay, that is huge. If you use this tool only to know which way the market's going, that's going to be a massive advantage for you as a trader. But here's the thing. It's not just going to tell you which way you're going. It's even going to tell you how far you're going to go. Now, how's it do that? It couldn't be any easier. It's going to tell you how far you're going to go, right? All you have to do to figure that out is match the color. Now, listen, okay? Once you find letter C, once you find your trampoline, okay, all you have to do to figure out where the market's going is match the color of your trampoline down here with the same color up here. That'll tell you how far the market's going. So if you bounced off a red trampoline, the way I'm telling you this works is that the market's going to go up and it's going to keep going up till it hits this red line, this red price, okay? Red trampoline, red price. Now, when's that going to happen? Well, that's going to happen sometime down the road, obviously, because time is going to go by. But as time goes by, the market will continue to go up until what? Until it completes the sequence. Do you see that? Do you see that? The market bounced off the red trampoline, kept going up till it got to this red price. Okay, that's where it found the end of the sequence, A, B, C, D. That is a complete sequence. It's natural. Okay, and with Fibonacci, right, it's measurable, right, and it's predictable. That is the key. Now, when I first saw this, all right, I was on the edge of my seat because I looked at that and I said, do it again. Okay, it made sense going through it the first time, but anybody can show you something once. Okay, you need to see that it works repeatedly. Well, what did I tell you? All right. This does work repeatedly because the Forex does this same thing over and over and over again. Once you get to the end of this natural pattern, right, you're going to start another one. And the mechanics are exactly the same. You're going to look for the high prices and the low prices, and you're going to give them a label, okay? What you're going to do then, very simply, once you find high price A, low price B, then you got what? High price C, okay? You're going to go up here, get your Fibonacci tool, and draw that same line from A to B, okay? Then the key is going to be finding out where letter C is, okay? The key for you, you got to write that down, is finding out where is letter C? Which trampoline does it line up with? Did the market rally all the way up here, right? Well, that would mean letter C lined up with the what? With the green line. That means that the market, right, if it follows a true natural pattern, would continue to go down only till it got to green. Had the market rallied, right, all the way up here to the blue line, okay, and bounced in the other direction, that means what? The natural pattern would be that the market would continue to go down till it got to this blue color, right? You always have to match the color. Red goes to red, blue goes to blue, green goes to green. That's going to be your job, okay? But then the tool's going to do the rest of the work. You see that you're bouncing off of what? Here, let's clean it up, okay? The market's done what? It's rallied, right, up to this red trampoline, then it's made a U-turn. Well, if that's the case, what should happen here? What should happen if this works the way I'm telling you is the market should bounce off that trampoline, right, headed in a downward direction. Does this really work in both directions? Well, you tell me. You can see right here that there's energy to the downside, okay? But it's not done going down till it gets to what? Till it gets all the way down here to this red line, this red price, sometime in the future, okay? Look what happened here, gang. The market kept going down until it completed the pattern. A, B, C, D. Do you see that? It worked in the upward direction. It worked in the downward direction. This works over and over and over again. Now that's exciting, okay? Because you're really starting to see it. Somebody just typed awesome, and it is, okay? Because now you're seeing that a candlestick chart is no longer something that you have to pore over for an hour to try and figure out, do we have a gravestone doji, or do we have any of this other stuff, right? A bullish candle or a tweezer bottom, okay? What we got now is something that's a whole lot simpler, but boy, it makes sense, all right? And a lot of you like that, okay? But here's the thing. It's still just a history lesson. Okay, I've shown you a couple of things that have already happened. What you want to know is this: what's going on over here? When I turn on my charts, right? What if I don't have a whole pattern? Well, let me show you how to take advantage of that. This is the name of the game. Okay, we've got a complete pattern right here, A, B, C, D. It's over. Okay, but now immediately right there, right, we're going to start a new one. That low price is going to be A. Okay, then what? We rally to a high price. That's going to be B. Then what happens? We make a U-turn, right? And we pull down to a low price. That's going to be C. What's missing? Letter D. Well, where is it? Well, we got to find it, okay? If you didn't have this tool, you wouldn't know where we were going next. But because you have this tool, just go get it. Just go do the same thing that I showed you, okay? Go turn your cursor into a pen and go draw your line from A to B. And when you do that, look what happens. New sequence, okay? New sequence appears. These other ones, they're old, they're gone, goodbye, right? Now we got a new one. This is something you can use because what's happening? The market has pulled back down to a low price and now it's bouncing. Are you sure it's bouncing? Well, look, let's go forward a little bit. You tell me. Yes, it's bouncing, all right? Yes, that's a U-turn, okay? The market's got energy off of what? Off of one of these Fibonacci numbers, these trampolines. Look at that. It's come right down to this red trampoline and now it's bouncing. So this market, you can see it with your own eyes, is going up. But what do you notice? It's not done going up until it gets to where? This red line way up here. We're not there yet. All right. So if this works the way that I'm telling you, this market's going to keep going up till we get to letter D. That's the end of the sequence, but it hasn't happened yet, so I'm going to give it a different name. I'm going to call it future D. That is if this works. If this works, that's where we're going. Well, how do I know if it works? Well, first, let's make sure it's even worth bothering with, all right? If this works, what did you just do? You just highlighted a profit opportunity, all right? If you're not done going up, right, that means from here to there, right, if we go there, that's a profit opportunity. Put some numbers on it. All right, what's my current exchange rate? I'll click on the candle. All right, if I got the closing price of this candle, that's 72.87. Let me put that right here so you can see it. That's my exchange rate right at the top of that candle. Okay, what's my future price? Well, that's the red line. And the tool doesn't just tell you, okay, where the line is, it also tells you the price there, right down to the last pip, 74.02. You see that? So if I go from 72.87 to 74.02, get a little calculator out, 72.87 less 74.02, that's 115 pip difference. And let's talk about that. 115 pips. You at this point have to make a decision. All right? Let's turn you into traders. I'm not screwing around here today. All right? Anybody can teach you theory. I'm going to put you in a position to do something. Okay, and the fact of the matter is you got to decide how confident you are that this thing's going to work. You've seen it once, you've seen it twice. Okay, you've got to decide if that's worth risking any of your money on. Now, if it's not, good, sit this one out. Just watch it. There's still value in watching it. The more you see something work, the more confident you'll be that you'll be able to do it. Okay, so that's fine. There are some of you that are saying, well, you know what? I would give that a shot because I got some choices. You're right. You could trade a micro lot. That's a $20 trade, right? You make 10 cents a pip. What are you going to get out of this? About $11.50. You can buy lunch at Panera Bread, all right? If you do this with a mini lot, okay, what are you going to make? $1 a pip. That's $115. You can pay the electric bill, okay? I told you want to be looking at trading lots of currency, $10 a pip. We're about to have an $1,100 conversation. If this works, all right, you're talking about being able to make 57% on your money. Not in a year, not in a month. This is a day chart, okay? In a matter of days. Well, that looks good, Joe. I know, all right? How do you know if it works? You go forward in time so you can see it. Look what happens. The market continues to bounce off of that energy level. That trampoline keeps pushing it higher. Now, does it go straight up? No. It keeps, though, going and making higher lows and higher highs until what? Until, take a look, right, on the 1, 2, 3, 4th day, 1, 2, 3, 4th day, it goes up and kisses that line. You know why it did that? You know why it went up and kissed that line? It went up and kissed that line because that's where D is. That is the end of the natural sequence, the natural pattern. Okay, so what did you do here? Well, if you bought low and you sold high in 4 days, you made a grand. Not bad. That's what you're looking to do. This is what you can take advantage of. All right. And what's going to happen next? Well, you're going to wait for the next pattern. Is it any surprise that it looks exactly the same? It's not. You know why? Because that's just another sequence. A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D. And for some of you, listen to what I'm telling you. That's a game changer. All right. We built our whole company on this. You know why? This works. Okay, the fact of the matter is, if you find A, B, and C, you stick that Fibonacci pattern on it, D shows up, you trade to it. Now, you might not have all the mechanics of trading down. We'll teach you that part. That's the easy part, right? Where do I buy low? Where do I sell high? Well, you get an account open, you link it right to the software. I got a trading button right over here. Big fat green one is when you buy. Big fat red one is when you sell, all right? Your job is gonna be to tell, right, your account, 10 cents, $1, $10 a pip. That part's going to be up to you. The more confident you get, the more you'll be able to do this. Okay. But the fact of the matter is, gang, look at this works. And it doesn't just work on the New Zealand on the 1 day chart. It works on all of them. Okay. It works on all the currencies. It works in all the time frames. Somebody said, does it work on the 1 hour chart? It works on all of them. I'll show it to you. All right. But the best part of this is finally, the market's measurable. This market, right? The Forex, this works. Okay, you see that it's repeatable. See it right on the screen, right? Best part is, this is predictable. All right, so now what? Now I got to teach you just the rest of the formula and how it works on a day-to-day basis. There's nothing to it. Then I'll show you target trading. We'll make it even easier. Okay, but this is the name of the game. No matter what currency you're looking at, no matter what time frame. Here, let me bring this one up, the pound Australian. Now we'll look at it on a couple hours chart. What's the goal? Your goal is to identify the pattern. Okay. The goal is to identify the pattern, find a low price, find a high price, okay? Then find out, all right, where am I making my next U-turn? All right, when I see the U-turn, that's letter C. What happens? The market bounces off a trampoline. And what are you gonna tell me? It went A, B, C, D by mistake? That's not a mistake. That is a Fibonacci sequence. Do you see that? And then what happens? Well then, right, the market does the same thing again, okay? It does the exact same thing. You got a low price, you got a high price, then you got a U-turn. Right? Bouncing off the red trampoline. As soon as it bounces off of that, look what happens. The market doesn't just go up, it keeps going up till it completes the sequence. A, B, C, D, then it changes direction again. Now, if you can see that, please type a yes in the chat box if you can see it. If you can see this, you are so close, okay? Type a yes in the chat box if you can see those patterns, because the beauty of this is that it repeats itself, all right? The more times you see the pattern, the more confident you're going to be that the next one's going to work too. And look at, I don't care where you find your low price and your high price. I don't care where you find it. All right. You can't tell me this isn't natural. When I go from A to B, I bounce down to C, right? And I go right to that red line. So I got a pattern within a pattern. This works in all levels, in all layers. This is what we've been teaching for 23 years. And if you say to yourself, holy cow, that works. Well, guess what? You don't have to wait for me to get it. Okay. If you're interested in getting this, all right, what I need you to do at this point, use the chat box. Say, you know what, I got to get that tool on my desk. Just put a good phone number in the chat box. Now, why are you going to do that? So we can have a conversation together today. All right, you want to get this on your chat box, great, or on your desk, great. Put a good way for me to reach you in the chat box, and when we break, I'll reach out to you. All right, we'll dot I's and cross T's together, make sure this is a good fit, and if we want to put this thing to the test for 60 days, I'll let you do it before you have to make any kind of final decision on it. All right, because that's a fair way to do things. Okay, but good. And you don't have to do that now, right? Roger just did it. Roger's like, I got it, 909 area code. This is what you came here for, to take a step forward today. Well, this just might be the thing, okay? And what I'm gonna tell you is, look, no matter what you're doing, no matter, right, A, B, C, D, look, it works, all right? But you've got to be able to use this in a way that works for you. Low price A, high price B. I know you can do that. Then you can find the low price right down here. Now, 3 of you just typed, what about the downside? Somebody just typed it in capital letters. Well, I can show you that too. How? Look at every trade you do. All right, you got to know where to get in, where to get out, which way we're going. With this tool right now, that cleaned up a whole lot of that. All right, that cleaned up a whole lot of that. Look at this one right here. All right, let's say this is what we're seeing, okay, on the screen. We've come right down to a Fibonacci number. That's not a mistake. That's not an accident. That's linear universal mathematics at work, okay? This is deep stuff. All right, but what are you thinking? I don't care about linear mathematics. I want to know if I can make some money with this. Okay, let's say you've identified this trade right here. Okay, the market's bouncing off this red trampoline and you see that it's obviously, right, head in the upward direction. It's not done yet. Okay, where's the market going? Well, according to this, it's going up here to this red line. That's where letter D is. Okay, that's at 174.77. Where are you right now? You're right now at 171.30. So the difference between here and there is 347 pips. Okay, so 347 pips. All right, now remember, this is the 4-hour chart. This isn't months or weeks or days. Now we're going to break this down to hours. And I'm going to show you right now how you do this as just a one-lot trade, $2,000 investment. All right, this is going to be worth almost $3,500 if it works. Okay, if you do it as a mini lot, no worries, still 350 bucks, right? You're not going to complain. All right, and now anybody can show you that part. Okay, what if it doesn't work, Joe? What if you know, President Trump sends a crazy tweet at 2 in the morning and things get crazy? What if Theresa May, right, gets voted, you know, out of the Labour Party in the UK, like happened last week? What if there's a short-term event that messes me up a little bit? All right, that's fair enough. Okay, you've got to know what your downside is, right? Well, here's what you're going to do. It couldn't be any easier. You're going to place, and we'll show you how to do this, a stop order. Okay, a stop order, right, is going to do what? It's going to build a floor under you, build a floor so that your downside is protected. Whenever you place an order, you're also going to place a protective order, a floor. Okay, I'll show you what it looks like. Right, you're going to place that floor when you do it this way, right here at letter C, right here at letter C. Okay, why are you going to do that? Well, because, right, C, I like to say, stands for conservative. Okay, a conservative trader, 90% of the people that trade with us are conservative traders. All right, conservative traders want to do what? They want to risk as little as possible to make as much as possible. Well, you're going to set your stop at letter C for conservative so that you're only risking a little bit to make a lot. Okay, now the reason this is effective in this market is this. Because if this ends up going the wrong way, if it comes down to your stop, automatically, all right, you're taken out of the market automatically, okay? And it protects the rest of your account. So you're still going to be, right, able to trade with the balance, okay? When I say automatically in this market, I mean it. Why? Remember liquidity? It's the most liquid market there is. There's always a buyer, there's always a seller. Remember that? Remember flexibility? The market's open 24 hours. So that means what? If your stop is hit, you're out. Right? There's no big gaps of time. There's no big gaps of price because the market's always open. You see how that's a benefit over any other market? I do. Well, good. If you're not sure of all that, don't worry about it. We're going to teach you that part. You're going to develop as a trader. But for now, you're protected. And what do you want to know? Joe, just show me that it works. Okay, go forward in time and you'll see it. Now, it doesn't go straight up. Okay, but look what happens. All right, it continues to make higher lows, higher highs until it hits letter D. Okay, there it is. How'd you do? You made 350 pips. How long did it take? I got a measuring tool. Look at, even if I got in at a lousy price, okay, I was in this thing for a grand total of probably about a week, 3,500 a week. That's not bad, right? And this is just one currency. Do you understand that? This is the key. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. Now it works until it doesn't, all right? This one worked. Okay, you have made $3,500. You're doing good. And now what you're waiting for is the next sequence. But what ends up happening? Watch this. You'll love this because this is what you're going to look for when you get this on your desk. You see how this, right, was trending higher. Okay, as it continued to trend higher, what happened? This worked over and over and over and over again, right? Even if you didn't get all 4 of these, you got 1 of these, you did great. Okay, but what happens up here? When the market finishes the sequence and then it changes direction, look what happens. The market breaks down below this trend line. It was trending higher, but then what happened? All right, the market went to the trend line, and then it broke down. See this breakdown right here? Okay, see this? You know what that signals? Right, when the market breaks down below the trend line, that signals a reversal. But what does that mean? Well, that means we're not going to look to make money in the upward direction. Now we're going to look to make it in the other direction. And what do? The same thing. We do the same thing. okay? We find low prices and high prices here. I'll just show you how it works, right? High price, low price. Market does what? Goes back and rallies to a high price. Blue line this time. So where's it supposed to go next? Blue to blue, right? Isn't it supposed to do that? Well, show it to me. And at this point, you want it to work, right? Look what happens. The market goes all the way down to that blue line, blue trampoline, blue line. Still a natural pattern, just a little bit of a different color, but still measurable. And then what happens? We do it all over again, all right? Low price, high price, right? Then the market does what? It pulls back. Are you really going to tell me, right? Are you really going to tell me that this market bounced back to a red Fibonacci number, okay? Then it headed back this way and came all the way to that red line by mistake? You couldn't tell me that. You couldn't tell me. I've gone through this thing for several months showing it to you, okay? And it continues to work. This is how it works, and it works over and over and over again. And if you can see that and you can spot that, you know what? We can teach you how to do it. All right, it's not going to take very long. And you've got this in your back pocket. You've seen the trend line, right? Support, resistance. You know how that works. You've probably got candlesticks. At least you're familiar with them. What's a breakout? That's when it breaks a trend line. And then you've seen ABCDs and Fibonacci's. Well, if you've seen it, there's nothing left to learn. Now it's time to get down to doing it. All right. And in 60 days, and we know this, that's why we give you 60 days to try it and test it. You're going to have this thing in your back pocket. All right. You can see the power of it. You learned that in less than an hour. All right. And I can give you trades, right, that you can literally do on Sunday. Watch how easy this is going to be. Look, look, look. I've got the Euro and the Australian. What have I got here? A breakdown. Okay. I was going up repeatedly. All right. Now I've got a tool here that'll show you how many times. It's called the Smart Fibonacci tool. You see this right here? Instead of clicking on this menu, right, the Fibonacci tools, click on this menu, the Smart Tools, right? The Fibonacci tool that's built in, look, your pen shows up again. Just do me a favor, keep things simple, right? All you need to do is find a low price or a high price. It'll show you the sequences. Here, I'll do it on this one. Look, look, here's the highest price we're at. When I click on that, look what happens. Boom, it shows me we're going the other way. A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D. Look, it works on the upside too. A, B, C, D. Then it works again and again and again and again. This one shows you, gang, look at that this sequence right here, right, on Friday afternoon, right, there it is, came to an end. So you know what's going to happen now? What's going to happen now is this one has got to be on your radar. This one has got to be on your radar because we're about to start a new sequence. And instead of being in there late, instead of getting a history lesson, instead of saying, if you'd have done this, if you bought Microsoft at 4, you'd be a gazillionaire. Yeah, you and me both. Okay, don't tell me what happened. Tell me what's coming next. This is going to start a new sequence and you're in it ahead of time. All right. I just helped you. I just took your trading to a new level. All right. But here's the beauty of this. All right. Some of you are like, sign me up. Let me get started. All right. You want to get started quickly so you can start making those pips. Well, there's a thing that I'm going to add to this. Okay. That instead of it taking 60 days, nobody wants to wait. Right. Don't show me how to get rich quick. But then if I told you it takes 60 days, what are you going to tell me? I'd really rather make money now. Right. I can show you how to cut the time down to nothing. All right, because we call it target trading 2.0. And what this does is it simplifies this whole thing. Okay, it gives you immediate profit potential. I'm talking about not making money in 60 days. I'm talking about being able to make money on Sunday, tomorrow, as soon as the market opens. All right, how are you going to do that? Well, there's 3 steps to doing it. Okay, you're going to open your charts at 5 o'clock. You're going to get them downloaded on your desk today. We'll give you a username and a password. You're going to test this tomorrow. Okay, 5 o'clock Eastern time. Write it down. Okay, you're going to open up your charts at 5 o'clock, and what's going to happen is the program's going to do a bunch of calculations based on the Fibonacci's. Okay, it's going to show you what's called a target, the best opportunity at the lowest possible risk for you as a trader to trade. And what are you going to do? Couldn't be any easier. You're going to trade to the target. That's it. If the target is above the market, you're going to buy low and sell high. If the target is below the market, you're going to do what? Do just the opposite. You're going to trade down to the target. But the fact of the matter is, gang, it'll take you 5 minutes to learn this because you've done the hardest part. Now it's just time for me to show it to you. And here's the thing, it works. It works. Watch how it works, all right? Can I take 5 minutes? That's it. Okay, 5 minutes to show this to you, and then you get this on your desk today. All right, here's how it works. I'm going to take a little bit of a different look. Okay, we've been looking at candlesticks. Okay, I'm going to look at candlesticks, but just a little bit differently. All right, I'm going to look at them on the target trading screen. Now watch this. Okay, I still have candles, but I've changed the color from white and blue to red and green, but that's going to help you. Okay, that's going to help you, right? And I'll show you how. And what I've done, don't be confused by it. I've broken down, right, the screen into periods of time. Okay, let's say you pull this up on your screen as soon as you get it. What you're going to see is candlesticks. Now here, let's say we're right here. This line right here separates the periods. Okay, this line is going to be 5 o'clock on Sunday. And what's going to happen? Well, at 5 o'clock Sunday, let me just make sure that's right. Let me look at the time here. All right, vertical line, I'm going to click that right here. That's 4 o'clock. So then if I move it forward, that'll be 5 o'clock, okay? When I move that forward, all right, at 5 o'clock, watch what happens. Boom. See this? See this? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. There it is. You see this right here? This is a target. If you can see the target, type the letter T, T for target. Type the letter T. If you can see that little line that appeared on the screen right at 5 o'clock, good. Type the letter T for real. You got to get this. If you miss this, you're going to miss the boat. All right. What that target, good. T, 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 thank you. T, who's got it? Come on, Brian's got it. Good. Richard, I've got your phone number. You're welcome. Right, thank you. Tim, I've got your number also, 419, and you see the T. Richard sees it. Matthew sees it. Okay. The target is on the screen. This represents, listen to what I'm telling you, the highest opportunity at the lowest risk for you as a trader. And all you're going to do when that target appears, all right, this is the rules of the game. And it's almost embarrassing for me to put them on the screen because they're so simple, right? The target appears, and then your job is to trade to the target, okay? Market's up here, target's down here. Well, what's that worth? Well, let's find out, okay? What's that worth? That is worth, if we hit the target, 64 pips. 64 pips, okay? Now, again, you got to make a decision, micro, mini, or standard, but if you do this as a one-lot trade, that's $640. That would not be terrible. Well, how do I know it works? Well, look back here, right? Target appeared, right? Market went down to the target. So you got a little bit of good information on the screen, but what do you want to do? You want to go through it a couple of times. Okay, watch this, all right? That target will remain static, okay? In other words, the target doesn't move. The only thing that moves is the price of the currency. So let's go forward and look at what happens. Not only does the market continue to move towards the target, it hits the target. You see that? The market hit the target. Now, how long did that take? Not very long. I can measure that. From where we entered to where we hit the target, that took a grand total of 11 hours to make $640. Now, that looks pretty good. You're right. Okay? That looks pretty good. You're right. Well, once it hits the target, what do? You're done. You exit the trade, all right? We don't know at this point if the market's going to bounce off of the target, if it's going to continue going down, and we don't care because anything else at this point is higher risk, and we don't like risk, so we're going to stick with just our target. We don't go chasing markets. Look, if you chase this market, oh, it's going down. Look what happened. You gave it all back. Don't try to outsmart the tool, but use the tool. Okay, and once it hits your target, you book a nice profit. Then what do? You wait for that period to end. What do? You wait for the next target. Okay, you don't even have to trade through this. You wait for the next target. And what's going to happen? Well, here it is. Okay, 5 o'clock, right? What happens? Boom, target appears, right? This is 5 o'clock the following Sunday. Now, why are you showing that to us just once a week? Because I know you're busy. Why are you showing that to us once a week? Because I know that some of you have tight schedules. You got kids, you've got work commitments, you got church commitments, you got all this other stuff going on. But I know every one of you can put aside 20 minutes on a Sunday. You understand that? So stick with me on this, all right? I'll make it a little better, but I know that every one of you can be there at 5 o'clock on a Sunday. And when the target appears, all right, what do? In this case, we're going to trade up to the target. Now, what's that one going to be worth? Well, let's find out. We got our measuring stick. Here it is. That one's going to be worth 52.8 pips. So a little less than the last one, All right, last time you made $640. If this one works, you're going to make $520. Let's just see if it works. All right, now does the market go straight up? Nope. All right, and we're doing this in a pretty unsophisticated way. Whoa, what's happening here? What's happening here is the market's expanding a little bit. But what you really need to know is it going to hit that target? And look what happens right here. All right, the market hits the target. So we got another hit. All right, we got a hit back here. Okay. We got another hit right here. So on this one, you made $640, and on this one, you made $520, okay? And on Sunday, what do? You go target hunting, okay? You're done for the week, okay? You wait for the following Sunday. Your targets, your first set of targets are coming out tomorrow. You're gonna be there for these. And what you do on Sunday couldn't be any easier. You go target hunting. You go looking for the best targets, okay? Now take a look, all right? Take a look. It's Sunday. I got another target right here. You see that? It just showed up. Okay, there it is. Okay, everybody can see the target. Now, 2 of you just typed it can't be that easy. Not 1 of you, but 2 of you. Okay, listen, I'm doing this in the most unsophisticated way possible, and I'm keeping it simple. But I know, A, you can be there at 5 o'clock on Sunday. B, I know you can open your charts and find a target. And C, I know you can trade with it. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay, but some of you don't even like that. You're like, yeah, but it was only worth $600 and $500, right? Well, here's what you can do. Let me just add one more piece. I'm not going to confuse you, all right? But the key to using this even better, all right, is instead of immediately when the charts come on trading to the target, what I'd rather you did, okay, and you'll be able to do this and you'll be able to test this. You got a target here. I don't want you to trade it until you see a candle in its direction. What do I mean? Well, here we got a green candle, all right? But the profit is to the downside. Instead of, right, getting into this trade off of the green candle, okay? I want you to wait for the red candle. All right, because that's going to lower your risk even further. Now look what's happening here. The market's moving away from you. Had you done this trade right at the very beginning, what are you doing right now? Well, you're drawing down a little bit. Nobody likes that. So how about this? Instead of, all right, drawing down, what I'd rather you did was wait for the first red candle whenever it appears. And when it does, that's when I want you to hit the button. Now, look, I'm talking so much, I missed the first one. Let's just do it off the second one, all right? And if this works, what are we looking to make here? 143 pips, okay? Now, I don't care who you are. That is a good looking trade if it works. How do you know it's going to work, Joe? Well, look at, you go forward in time. You go forward in time. You try it, you test it, and you see that it works. The more you see this work, gang, the more you're going to realize you're onto something. Now, how often does it work? Write this down. 72% of the time, right? Targets are hit in one trading period, okay? One trading period. But if you miss a target, and I'll talk about that in a second. What if you miss one? Somebody just asked that too. If you're willing to wait just a little while longer, okay, 89% of the targets are hit within 7 trading periods. What do you mean? Well, look at, not every trade is going to be a perfect trade. 72% of the time your target's going to be hit. And I don't mean just making a few pips. I mean hitting the entire target, the entire profit, 64 pips, 52 pips, 143 pips. Do you understand that? Hitting the whole target. So if you had a 70% chance of doing that, that'd be damn good. But now, if you're willing just to wait a little bit, you got almost a 90% chance of hitting your target. Where are you going to get anything that's even close to that? You're not. All you got to do is wait for the target, all right? Trade to the target. As soon as you see, all right, the candle in your direction, look at what happens. There's another hit, all right? And I can show this to you over and over and over again. The fact of the matter is, gang, this works, okay? Now, somebody just said, another one, right? What happens after you hit your target? What do you mean? You mean what? This target got hit. Let's look at this one, right? You hit this target, that only took a day and a half. What do you do the other days? Well, that's where this gets even better. Now listen. I don't want you necessarily to do what I'm about to show you, okay? I know all of you can do this. You can do it tomorrow. The targets are coming out tomorrow at 5 o'clock. You're gonna trade to those targets. It is that simple, okay? But if your targets are hit by Tuesday, what do you do then? You still got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Well, here's what you do. Instead of looking just at the weekly target, you've got to realize that you've also got daily targets. Daily targets, let me show you what that looks like. Every day at 5 o'clock, every day at 5 o'clock, guess what happens? A target appears on every currency. This is a different one altogether. Okay, a different one altogether. But every day a target appears, yes, giving you the best option, advantage, opportunity to make some money. Now look at, here's 5 o'clock, okay, 5 o'clock. This is the end of a day. And what happens? Target appears. He's right. I know I'm right. Okay, how much is that one worth? Well, on a daily target, it's going to be worth a little less. Smaller time frame, smaller profit. But you wouldn't look 22 pips in the eye. If you could make $220, that'd be a good day of trading added to what you just did before. Now, does it work? Well, let's see. Hit, 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 hit. Looks like it works. Let's see if it works by going forward. What do? The same thing. You just trade to the target. When it hits, you put your money in your pocket. I posted the other day, right? And I walked through my trades live, day trades live on the Facebook page, right? It took 48 minutes to hit the target. Somebody said it's like shooting fish in a barrel. I don't want to overstate it, but the statistics are the same. If you enter a trade, okay, 72% of the time, it's going to hit your target within one trading period. And I can show you that here too. Look, this is the most current. This is real time, okay, on the Australia Canadian. There's a hit, okay, there's a hit, there's a miss, there's a hit, 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 there's a miss, there's a hit, there's a hit. So you can see, right, little over 70% of the time, right, you're hitting those targets, okay? Well, what about those missed ones? Well, what about them? Okay, what you've got to realize is this. What did I tell you? All right, 89% of the time it hits the target within 7 periods. See this missed target right here? I know that's a missed target, right? The next one hits, so the next one, so the next one. All right. Oh, actually, that's a miss. I can use that one as part of my example. Look what happens though on missed targets. If you were willing just to wait till the next day, not only did that day's target get hit, but so did this one. If you're willing to wait just a little while on this one, okay, not only did the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 targets get hit, but so did this one within 7 trading periods, okay? This was a miss, I know, right? The market expanded, okay? But once the market changed direction, look, not only did you make money here and here, but it picked up this missed target. That's what we're going to show you, gang. It is totally awesome. You know how to do it. It's a matter of getting it on your desk and trying it. Some of you are like, I've got to get this. Well, I'll include all the tools that I showed you with it today. The most important is what? All right, that target trading. When we break, all right, either me or one of my traders that's here with me right now, we're going to get in touch with you to get this on your desk. We'll get you a username and a password. Okay, we'll include a tutorial that's built into the program because I know you want to show this to your spouse. I know you've seen this, you're like, holy cow, I can't wait to show this to my trading partner, my neighbor, all right, your kids, whoever. The tutorial that's built in is going to help you with that. All right, normally this is $249 a month, but any of you that gets on as a student today, all right, I'm going to give you the software for 2 months for free so you could try it out and test it out and make sure that everything I showed you today works, because that's where the rubber meets the road. All right, you get that username and password, and if you're interested in this at all, you've got to try it. Do what it says on the screen. All right, put your name and a good number in the chat box, and as soon as we break, because we're almost done, all right, I'll reach out to you. We'll make sure that this is a good fit for you. Bottom line, look, this works. Performance matters. I know it does. Okay, gang, this year, this is the performance. Just since the beginning of the year, okay, 21,000 pips. That's $200,000 on a standard lot of currency. What is that? 30,000 a month. All right. And the class that I'm talking about is on Monday. I still got some room in the class. And look at that class is huge because that's where it all starts. Okay. That class is huge because that's where all these people started. And look at, when I say performance matters, all right, let's just say it like it is. People are literally throwing their account statements at us and telling us how well this works. Look at target trading, right? 200 pips over here, 2,000 pips over here, right? This is somebody who did this week, okay? This works. And it's a matter of getting it on your desk and trying it out. The class is Monday at 10 o'clock. I got 9 seats left. So to reserve one of those, you have to put your number in the chat box right now. The only way to do this is to have you do that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take you in order. All right, so the first person that puts their number in gets the first call when we break. And as soon as those seats are filled up, that's going to be the end of it. But we're so confident in this program, we're literally going to give you the entire thing. Okay, risk-free for the next 60 days. That way you don't have to sit here and take my word for it. Okay, you can take it today. You try it, you test it. All right there on your computer. Then you decide, all right, if this thing is the right program for you. Because look, at the end of the day, the only person you're really going to trust is yourself. All right, all I'm asking is that you give this thing an honest effort. So let's do this. All right, target trading, the system includes, right, that system that I showed you, and it includes that live class that's on Monday, all right? And we'll record it if you can't be there Monday so that you have all the information. At the class, all right, you're gonna get the daily and weekly strategies that I showed you, and then we'll also show you the monthly strategies. Wait till you see those, it's even more pips, okay? The foundations tutorial is built into the program. That's the ABCDs and the Fibonacci's, okay? There's little videos attached to it. You're learning right from the experts here. That's the thing that you want to show your spouse or your kids. It is totally awesome. And you can do that part at your own pace, all right? Charting software, of course, that gets on your desk today, all right? So you can begin to try it and test it. You got that risk-free for the next 2 months. Now, for all of you that are going to get into this, all right, we're going to give you the training. But for those of you that say, well, I want to get into this, but I want to do it with someone. Well, twice a week, look at Mondays and Fridays, you log in, you come trade with us, okay? That's when we trade with our worldwide students. Those are our best ambassadors, all right? Getting them consistent results continues to build our company. So if you want to come in there on Sunday, you'll see exactly what we see and you can take our trades. Okay, we'll do all the analysis. Now, I'm not going to tell you, I can't tell you what trades to take, okay, but I can tell you what I'm doing, and then you can mirror it and match it and do the same thing. And if you get good at this, you'll be doing it solo, all right? But if you want some company anytime you trade, okay, anytime you trade, before you hit the buy or the sell button, you'll have an analyst on demand, right? So even if it's 3 in the morning, if you're ready to do a trade, you want to buy the pound, but you want to double check it. We're going to have an analyst on call that you can speak with directly, all right, to make sure, to check it out so that you're always doing stuff right. And all that is included in this program, and you get 60 days to do it before you go making a final decision. Look, this is a $10,000 value program. Okay, all the tools that are in it, and you're saying it, yeah, that thing is awesome. Well, all the training that goes with it, all the support, right? All the software development, all the different experts, all right, that are there to help you. This is awesome, okay? And starting Monday, here's what we're gonna do, right? We're gonna bundle this thing together and we're gonna offer it online at retail, all right? A bundled retail price. We're gonna have people, right, that are gonna come to our website and they're just gonna get the program. Now look, it's not gonna be $10,000. When you bundle, that's a value, right? Well, you can get this on Monday if you want. Go to our website and you can get it for $39.95. Okay, and look, even at normal retail, we're gonna have a bunch of people that get it and they're gonna make that back in a week and then some. But today we're gonna do it different for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's the last day of the pre-launch before Monday's class. Number 2, it's gonna be Father's Day, all right? So what we're doing today is we're offering one heck of a special today, and I got 9 seats left, all right? Once they're filled up, that pricing is gonna end. But to make this easy for any of you, all right, to help you make a decision, I'm gonna let everybody get in this webinar, at least the first 9 of you, get on board risk-free, all right, for just $2,295. That's a $1,700 savings immediately, all right, 40% off that online retail price. Now listen, it's very easy to get started. All you have to do at this point is type your phone number in the chat box. What I will do, all right, is I will have an education specialist reach out to you. All right, we'll spend as much time with you as necessary. We'll get all your questions answered and make sure this is a good fit. Now, by putting in your phone number, listen, and Tom, I just got your number, but by putting in your number, you're not locking yourself in. Okay, what it is you're giving yourself what's called the first right of refusal. All right, by putting in your phone number, it means you want to have a discussion with us and you want to reserve that spot. All right, Teresa, good, I've got your number also. Here's what's going to happen. As soon as I'm done here, all right, we're going to talk. Right, we're going to answer your questions and show you that warranty. Make sure this works for you. All right, you review this and you decide if it's for you. Then you get that spot. All right, you got it reserved because you put your phone number in the chat box. All right, now listen, if we have that discussion and you decide that it's not right for you, nothing lost. Okay, all we'll do at that point is just free up that seat for the next person in line. Does that make sense? So when you put your phone number in, you're getting priority. All right, now what you're seeing today, look, it's not going to be offered after today. That's not something that I can change. Okay, the best way for us to be effective is to put a cap on this. So once those 9 seats are full, that's going to be the end of it. So here's what you need to do. All right, if you've got any interest in this at all, put your number in the chat box and at least get in line for that conversation. All right, now if you're thinking, I want to do this, but I don't have the money, hold on, because I got a monthly program payment plan available. Okay, for those of you that are like, I don't know if I can fit that on my credit card. Well, if what you can do is put a couple dollars down to reserve that spot. I'll still give you all the tools that come with this. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll put you on a plan so you can pay this off as you go. So there's flexibility if you need it. All right, I know a bunch of you want the program. Let's just figure out how to do this. All right, so if you want this, but you're just not sure how to do it financially, put your number in the chat box so you can lock up that spot. You're giving yourself the first right of refusal to say yes or no after we talk. Fair enough? So good. Robert, I've got your number. George and Richard, I've got yours. Tim and Brian, I've got yours. Bill, I've got your number as well. You're going to download this today. Now listen, for tonight, all right, so that you absolutely have every tool possible that we have here to be successful at this. For everybody that enrolls today, I'm going to give you a couple of bonuses. All right, I'll give you 4 bonuses. You ready for this? We talked about charting. Okay, I was going to give you that for 2 months. No. I'm going to give that to you for 4 months at no additional charge so that you have every opportunity to do this. All right, and I don't want you worried about $249 a month. I'll give that to you. All right, for 4 months so that it's right there and you have every chance to do this at a pace that makes you comfortable. That's the first bonus. All right, second bonus. Remember those live trading sessions Mondays and Fridays? I'm going to give you those for 4 months also so we can hold your hand on this. All right, and make sure that you're getting it. Give you every chance to be successful. That's what mentorship is all about. Okay, that's what sets our group apart from any other. So Audrey, I've got your number. Sean, I've got yours. Noah, thank you very much. I've got your number. All right, next. All right, you don't want to miss this week's targets. Okay, this is going to be massive. With what's been going on with the pound and the dollar this week, all right, Monday morning, we're going to give you Gary, the designer of this program, directly so he can prepare you, even if you're new, to capture this week's targets. All right, last week we had students that made, look at, there's the date and the time. Okay, we had students that made 3,000 pips last week. You understand that? All right, this week we're looking at between 4,700 and 5,000 pips. Even at $1, even if you got half of that, all right, you'd be very, very impressed. If you got half of it, that would pay for the entire program. So here's what I need you to do, okay? We're gonna wrap this up for everyone that has typed in their number, all right, or is about to. Some of you have already told me you wanna do payment plans, that's fine, all right? Some of you have said, right, that you're probably okay with doing a one-time payment. If you think you're leaning towards the one-time payment, all right, and you wanna get that immediate savings, here's what I need you to do. All right, I want you to type the letter A in the chat box. Now understand, what did I say? All right, if you type in the letter A, I'm not saying you're committed to this right this instant. We're gonna help you. All right, we're gonna make sure this is a good fit. We're gonna show you that warranty. All you're saying when you type the letter A is, look, if it works for me, I'm in a position to make a one-time payment, okay? But by putting in your phone number, right, and letting me know that, you're locking up that place in line for yourself. Now, on the other hand, all right, for those of you that need a little flexibility, right, you're going to do a payment plan, I want you to type the letter B next to your name, okay? Now, with the letter B, listen, you get that online retail for the program, but what you get is flexibility, all right? You put a little bit down, all right, that gets your foot in the door. Now, everybody says, what's a little bit? If you can put $499 together, I can get this entire thing for you today. And either way you do this, all right, option A or option B, you got 60 days. All right, because our warranty says, look, we don't want you to use this for 10 or 15 days. We want you to use it for its full effectiveness for 60 days, and we'll help you the whole time. At the end of 60 days, that is when you make a final decision on this. And it's going to be an easy one, okay? After 60 days, if this is exactly what you were looking for, right, it works the way we said, and you're making some money at it, what are you going to do? You're going to keep it. Obviously, right? And you'll have it for the rest of your life. But if after 60 days, look, for whatever reason, if you just decide this isn't for you, let's say you make 2 payments, right? And you decide it's not your cup of tea. Well, in writing, what it says is we'll refund every penny you paid just for giving it a try. All right, we're the only company that does this. And it's so each of you has every opportunity, all right, to come to a good decision on whether it's right for you. All right, so let's have that conversation. Again, it's option A or option B. Ryan, I've got you as an option B. Tyrell, you're an option B. Patel, you're an option A. Ravi, you're an option A, question mark. Ravi, let's have that conversation. Just tell me which way you're leaning. All right, if you need to stretch it out a little bit, just put option B and stay by your phone. All right, so that when we call you, good. Lisa, I've got your number. Janice, I've got yours also. Good. All right, Janice, you're a B, that's fine. All right, we'll give you that flexibility, but you get your foot in the door. Awesome. All right, so look, I'm going to wrap it up. Congratulations to all of you. I'm excited, all right, that you're going to be a part of this. All right, type your number now to reserve a spot. You want to see what you can accomplish in 60 days? Look, look, look. We have a third-party verifier here, okay? And our students over the last 2 months, all right, verified, have made over 1 million pips. Do you understand that? All right, we track, we make sure that our students are getting it. All right, over the last 2 months, they've made 1 million pips, right? On a standard lot, that's $11 million. I mean, this is the real deal. So even if you did half as good as that, of our current students, you would be very, very impressed. All right, so type your number in now, stay by your phone. It's option A or option B, right? Worst that happens is you try it for 60 days and it's not for you. You get your money back, all right? But you're not going to do this alone. We're going to do it with you for those 60 days, give you every chance to make some money, all right? You'll have a lifetime skill. And once you learn it, I mean, that's the best part. As long as you got an internet connection and a laptop, if you got this, no matter where you are in the world, you can make some money at it. Awesome, all right? Targets are coming out Sunday, all right? You get a full Forex education out of this. All right, and look, yeah, my time's wrapping up. Those of you that got a number in, we're just gonna go down the list, all right? By typing in your number, you're committing to that conversation. But you got 499 bucks, gang, all right? You just about have to do this. Where else are you gonna get any kind of training and software, right? And all that support for $500? I mean, this is like the no-brainer of the century, all right? And look, so that I can, all right, those slots are full. All right, I'm just getting word right now that those slots are going to be filled, but they're holding up the number 5. All right, and here's what they mean. They're going to expand this. Let me go ahead and grab a slide real quick. They're going to expand this by 5 more people. Okay, what do I mean? It's Father's Day. They're going to expand this by 5 more people, and here's what we're going to do. All right, write down this number, and just to guarantee yourself a spot. All right, I want you to call that number. Okay, to guarantee yourself a spot in this class. Anybody that calls that number, I will guarantee you a spot. Okay, what I will also do, all right, is anybody that calls in, okay, I will save you $500. Write that down. All right, when we have the conversation, I'm offering this as a Father's Day bonus. Okay, it's a $500 savings. Okay, call in to get it. When we reach you, say, hey, Joe's offering me a special. All right, the fact of the matter is, that's how badly, right, you can take advantage of this today, and we want you to be a part of it. We're just about giving it away. Okay, and as a matter of fact, look, if money is still a problem for you, I'll tell you what, I don't want it to be. Some of you are like, yeah, I can do that. That makes sense. That thing works. Targets are coming out Sunday. I can make some money with it. But Joe, I'm hung up on the money part. Well, I'm not going to let you be hung up on the money part. All right, because I even got a way that you can get this for free. Well, what do you mean by that? Right? What do you mean I can get it for free? A minute ago, it was $22.95. Right? Then even if you save me $500, it's $17.95. Now you want to tell me I can get it for free? Well, listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. Okay? If this is something you think you can do, you got to do it. If this is something you think you can do and it makes sense, you got to try it. All right. And if money is the only thing that's getting in your way, I'm not going to let that happen today. All right. If you want to be an ambassador for my group, if you want to take this seriously, right, come to the class, learn this, put it to the test, and go make some money with it. If you're the type of person that's serious, all right, then you're the type of person I want to talk to, because I know what's going to happen. You're going to tell some friends of yours about this, and that way we can spread the message. Okay. And if you're that kind of person, I can get this for you for free, but you got to type in the chat box, all right, your phone number. Even if you put the word free next to it, let's talk about that. Okay. I got a referral program. I got a tuition reimbursement program. I got a way to get you started. So at this point, it's up to you. Okay. 3 different ways to do it. I know one of them works. Okay. Option A, you get to save a ton of money. Okay. Call in, I'll $17.95. You wait till Monday, it's $39.95. Still worth every penny of that. But today you get that awesome discount. Okay. Option B, okay, so you don't have it, right? But I know you can put $500 together. Well, guess what? Then you're still going to get your foot in the door, and you get a 60-day warranty. And the other way to do it is free. That's right up there on the screen. All right. Every last one of you should be putting your phone number in the chat box. It's the best market. Okay. It's the easiest to do. Fact of the matter is, these tools, gang, are revolutionizing the way trading is being done. And I'll be there with you, all right, on Monday, because I'm going through this too with you. All right. I'll target trade. That's what we're going to do. You're having trouble finding targets? We'll help you find them. So with that, I want to say thank you. All right, I'll see you in class on Monday. The next 60 days are going to be awesome. Stay by your phone. I want to say thank you to the Investor Inspiration people. All right, thanks for the trust, right? I appreciate that. Thanks for the chance, right, to be here and talk to your group. Gang, you got something out of this today. All the best to you going forward. All right, that's why you came. I hope it was worth your time. All right, and on that note, Joe Cavallaro, out. Talk to you soon.